Well friends, today we discovered together the Ranieri International Next 255 LX. A boat with an overall length of 7.80 meters and a width of 2.55 meters, so therefore perfectly trailerable. We will now take a walk on board to discover the setup. But as always, remember to leave a like on this video and comment with your opinion. Let's check it out together. At the stern, there are two platforms added to the hull separated from the engine. Engine, which in this case features a Suzuki DF300 AP, but the maximum engine size reaches up to a 350 horsepower, available in both single and double versions. Let's see, inside the left platform there is the boarding ladder. A retractable boarding ladder inserted inside this hatch. In this way we are able to leave the walking surface free from obstructions, with a double grab handle to facilitate the coming out of the water. We see how the entire walking surface is without any type of obstacle. The mooring cleat is positioned on the left side. And there is also this central portion with a diamond anti-slip coating, which allows you to literally walk from one side to the other of the platforms, and therefore experience both areas totally independently of each other, with the cockpit in the center to facilitate complete engine tilt. We then enter on board. We see that there are two corridors separated by the large stern sofa. A stern sofa with a backrest that can also be folded towards the bow, to have a seat with a view of the engines, which is really not bad when we are at anchor. And moreover, it is lockered at its interior. By lifting the hatch, we can access the compartment with batteries, systems and bilge pump, as well as the possibility of creating a folding system with platforms to have a large stern sun deck, and therefore extend the rear relaxation area even further. Moreover, we see how the cockpit is free from obstacles, with the predisposition in the center for the insertion of a fixed base with table to have a stern dinette for 5 people. Because here we have the linear sofa with also the two single-seater armchairs inserted inside the walls, which increase even further more comfort on board. A little further on the bulwark, there is a storage pocket. And look here also at the padding, which acts as a backrest, but also as a support for the knees if we wanted to lean on the wall. And there is also a stern handrail, a real guardrail that allows us to have a firm grip. And speaking of the sides, look here, the height reaches the middle of my thigh, so we are always well protected on board at any time. The seat block is made of fiberglass and is central with the behind the kitchen block. By lifting the hatch with actuator, we see that there is a first compartment with the sink on the left and a support surface on the starboard side. But on request we can install an induction hob, obviously with the addition of the inverter. At the bottom there is a folding refrigerator and a further storage door, with the possibility of also inspection of the refrigerator for any ordinary and extraordinary storage operation. We move towards the bow. We see here the presence of the fuel tank loading cap, while on the other side there is the loading of the water tank. And we then arrive at the command post station, which features a single sofa for 3 people with independent bolsters. In this way each person can choose the mode they prefer most, whether traditional sitting or lumbar support. And when I am at the helm, I see that it is easily reachable in front of me. There is the very large NSX ultra-wide display, which gives me any information on navigation and also on the engine. Engine which also sees the display supplied by Suzuki. On the left there is the Hertz HMR20 stereo supplied with the stereo system. While on the starboard side there are the on-off switches arranged on 3 levels. A convenient cup holder and obviously a little further down the power throttle. The compass is clearly visible. There is the VHF at the bottom, and there is also the covered footrest step in synthetic teak, which ensures an excellent grip. In this way we can have full control of the navigation and monitor it, which happens around us at 360 degrees. Look at the windshield. It gives us protection up to the shoulders. It is inclined so as not to sacrifice aerodynamics, but at the same time it protects us from the front wind. And regarding the control station, we can choose to replace the entire block seat with 2 independent armchairs that can rotate 360 degrees. In this way a real lounge is created, and therefore look, we can literally simulate and imagine ourselves already at anchor. Because we are moored but we are in the open sea, with a beam wave as you can see. But we can have a real living area at the stern for 7 people, and on a 780 boat is really not bad. Furthermore, in terms of relaxation on board, there is also a roll bar present in this setup, which allows you to shade both the stern portion and the bow portion with the arches, and therefore relaxation guaranteed on board. We move towards the bow. We see on the bow corridor, we have 2 steps to reduce the difference in height, but at the same time give greater volume to the interior, but we will see it in a moment. There is also the steel profile obtained from the rear portion of the windshield. And look here, We can easily access the bow area because the width is more than adequate. There is also the rail which is lowered but gives us protection up to mid-leg, and we then arrive in the bow area. Bow area completely covered with cushions, with the exception of the side corridor, which therefore allows us to walk around the bow without necessarily having to step on the fabrics. But look here at how much space there is, and count the steps with me. Because we occupy the entire bow area with the upholstery, and we also have the addition of the two-seater sofa with fixed backrest and variable padding depending on the position. In this way, each person can choose whether to use it as a sofa or also use it as a chaise longue. Because as you can see here, it is slightly lowered and therefore we can have support for the back. There is no shortage of two handles positioned on the side with the cup holder. In this way, even two people can relax on board and enjoy navigation. Finally, under the front cushion, there is the compartment dedicated to the windlass. Windlass therefore not visible from the dashboard, but hidden inside the hawse eye. And on request, it is possible to install a camera to monitor all maneuvering operations. In this way, a single person can carry out the entire anchoring line. Complete the setup at the bow. The bow step also covered in synthetic teak, with the step to facilitate ascent and descent in case of bow mooring. And obviously the double cleat on one side and on the other. We return then towards the stern. I will show you the double passage, how I told you there are two large walkways covered in synthetic teak for greater grip. And we enter in the cabin. Entrance on the left side of the control station with sliding door. We see that upon entering there are 3 steps to reduce the difference in height. And immediately in front of us there is the large double bed for 2 people. Look here, it occupies the entire beam of the boat, with a central portion that we can remove, to have a greater walkable surface inside. On the left there is a convenient storage drawer. And at the top on the same side there is a porthole to ensure air recirculation. The lighting at the top is provided by the LED strip. And I will also show you the internal height. Look here, I can stand completely upright inside the cabin without difficulty. Then it is lowered with 2 gradual reductions, but I am able to sit comfortably in the first area, and then subsequently I can relax in the front portion. So fully usable from a cruising perspective. Furthermore, below the walking surface there is an additional compartment where all objects and bags can be stored. In this way we manage to leave the cabin free of clutter and therefore be able to fully exploit it, while in the separate cabin there is the bathroom. Bathroom on the starboard side with sink positioned on the side and WC a little further back on the same side, while there is a porthole at the top to facilitate the recirculation of the air. Also in this case I will show you the internal height when entering the bathroom. You can see I can stand almost completely upright because there is a height of 1.65 meters. But when I'm sitting I still have space in front of me. There is the porthole to provide air circulation, and I can also close the door to have complete privacy inside. So a boat of 7.80 meters overall, with 2 beds, separate bathroom, external kitchen. Therefore perfectly exploitable from a cruising perspective for 2 people, but above all with lots of space on deck for daily outings. And so dear friends, this is the Ranieri International Next 255 LX. As always, if you liked the video, I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, leave a like and tag the people you think might be interested. And as always, for all the next videos we'll always see you here on the C-Team.